welcome to Pink Paper Peppermints. Today is the kickoff of the 6th annual My Heart of Thanksgiving event, and I'm so excited to share with you. You can see our theme is heart and home, and I have lots of fun things to share with you. If you are new to My Heart of Thanksgiving, I want to tell you a little bit about it. It is a 4-week challenge that we do every year at Thanksgiving, and we have 4 weekly prompts. There's a free starter kit that you get when you register on my website, and I will link that below. And there's just 4 journal pages that you do. And if you do those 4 pages each week, at the end of the 4 weeks, you get a printable prize goodie bag from me. And it's so much fun. We get to know each other. We make friends. There are prizes. And of course, the devotional and just talking about the Lord is just a lot of fun. So if you haven't joined us before, I hope you will register and sign up and join us. So the first thing that I want to do is go over the starter kit with you. Now, some of you have already registered and already received your starter kit. But for those of you who haven't, this is included in the kit, and this is a prompt sheet. It's got all 4 of the dates and the theme for that week, the prompt, and the hymn. I do a hymn playlist for a challenge every week. Every year I do a hymn playlist, and I have that linked below as well. And so you can listen to those hymns. They kind of go with the devotional. And then you also get a checklist, and this is just giving you the basics of the challenge, how it works, and what you need to do in order to participate and win the prize at the end of the 4 weeks. So I made it a little checklist so you can kind of check it off as you go and make sure you're following all the steps, but it's really pretty simple. You're basically just going to follow along in the devotional and create a journal page each week, just 1 journal page, so a total of 4. Most of us do a lot more than 4, but that's all you're required to do to participate. So these are the prompt cards that you get in the starter kit as well for free. And every year I make them to be themed with the theme of the challenge. And since our challenge is heart and home, I thought it would be fun to make them pretty front doors with wreaths on the front. So you're just going to cut that door up the side and across the top, and then glue it to that back part so that the door opens and shows you your prompt. And you can see there's directions there at the bottom as well that show you how to do it, but it's really simple to put together. And those are the prompts for each of the 4 weeks. So let's talk a little bit about the schedule. This year we are doing on Saturdays, there will be tutorial videos from me, just like today at 10 a.m. It'll be a little bit different because it'll be more like my regular video where I'm actually showing you some fun tips and tricks and ideas. And then on Sundays, we're doing something different with the devotional as well, which I'm going to tell you about in just a minute, but I'm really excited about it. So I will be posting the devotional to my blog every Sunday instead of emailing it like I have in the past. I'm going to tell you about why in just a few minutes. On Tuesday and Friday are super fun days. Those are our demo days. And my creative team does demos with the kit and shows you all kinds of fun tips and tricks and ideas. And then on the weekends, it's your turn. It's when you're going to post your page to Instagram to participate in the challenge and show everyone what you're working on. And then you'll go and comment on everyone else's posts and pages as well. We use the hashtag MyHeartOfThanksgiving to find each other. This is the calendar that's also in your starter kit, and that tells you kind of everything that's going on. Everything that I just told you about is on that calendar. So this is the big reveal of our Traveler's Notebook insert for this year. It's a collage, kind of shabby chic, cottagey little house, and I've done the cover in a really fun way. The first thing I want to tell you is this book that I'm holding is an A5 or a half sheet size, which I'm really excited about. This is brand new this year. We usually do B6 and standard, and this one is an A5. So it's basically like an 8.5 by 11 just folded in half. And it's a double cutout cover, which is what I'm showing you here. You get 2 covers. One is the clouds, and then one is the house with the clouds. And you don't have to do this, it's optional, but you can then cut out the clouds from the house so that you have this kind of layered cover effect. And I've got some fun ideas that I want to show you with that in one of my upcoming videos. You can see how thick this book is, much thicker than our usual Traveler's Notebook insert, and that is because of what I told you before, that we're doing something new. The Devotional this year is included in the Traveler's Notebook insert. This is something you've been asking me for, and I finally got it done this year. So I'm holding up three fingers there because I wanted to remind myself to say something, and I do not remember what that was. So I'm really sorry. I'm just showing you here that it's an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and I've been trying borderless printing with this A5 size, so I didn't even have to cut the white edges off of that paper. So it does kind of smear a lot, and you'll see that later in my book. They're little black smudges, but you know what? I think it's worth it to not have to cut those edges off. So you can see that there's 4 days, 4 pages of devotional, and then you have the prompt with some lines so you can take notes, and then you have 2 blank pages to create your journal page for that week on. Now, if you're like me, you're probably going to do a lot more than 4 journal pages, but that's what it's set up to do. And there's extra pages in there as well. Also, I'm showing you here that each week is color coded. So week 2 is that gold yellow color. And so the pages are the gold yellow as well. And it kind of helps you see where you are in the book. You can see I'm pointing out the smudges there. There's the blank spread for week 2. And then some more blank pages. And then I think we're going into week 3, so it changes to green. And the devotional is there. And then this year in the starter kit, you're going to find 3 different size calendars. I made them for standard B6 and then this A5 8.5 by 11 folded in half size. And I did it sideways this year. Normally I do it vertically, but I did it horizontal so that you can fold it in half. You can print some of the pattern paper from the kit on the back and put it right in the center of your book. And then you've got extra pages and you've got your calendar right in your book. That's another thing that you have requested from me that I managed to do this year. So I'm pretty excited about that. So you can see I'm pointing out some of those smudges there. There were a lot of smudges. I feel like I'll just cover those up and it won't bother me. I don't know. It might bother me, but it was just so awesome to not have to cut the white edges around the papers. I really liked that. So you can see I'm flipping through in the back. There's some extra pages there as well. And that is our Traveler's Notebook insert. And like I said, it comes in 3 different sizes. So these are the giant journaling tags. And if you're new, these are 8 by 4 tags. They're huge and they have kind of a home kitchen homemade theme this year. Some really delicious looking cakes from a 1920s cookbook and some vintage wallpaper. This is one of my favorites. This was from that same cookbook. The lady had written a recipe, or someone that she knew wrote it for her in the back of the book. It's written right in the cookbook and it's so sweet. She's got little drawings in there. She's misspelled so many words and it's really funny. And she says 2 eggs beat real good. But my favorite part is down at the bottom. She kind of says, put it back in the oven to bake and brown it. And then, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but you'll see it on the tag. At the very bottom it says, and then call me to help you eat it. And I just think that is so sweet. I just love that so much. And it's, 100-year-old cookbook, and that I just love that. So these are some fun prayers. That one of these is on a vintage plate that I have in my kitchen that I got in a estate sale. And the other one is also from a vintage plate. And they're just kind of kitchen prayers, meal prayers that are from, I want to say probably the 50s or 60s. And then of course we had to have some vintage kitchen tags in here as well. I want to apologize. I know I'm cutting the tops of these off. These are the journal cards. I am a little out of practice with video and I have a brand new setup in my studio, and I did not realize until I was doing this voiceover that had happened. So these are the journal cards, and they are all based on Proverbs 31, a Proverbs 31 woman, except for the one is from 1 Peter, but it kind of goes with that. And I think they're really, really fun. I love those 40s ladies. This journal card set comes also with 3 pattern papers. This is one of them that I've printed on the back. And they're all kind of like vintage wallpapery. So that's fun for the backs of your cards, if your cards' backs are going to show. These are the homemaker tags, and I love these too. These are some public domain images, and they're from 1900s up to around late 1960s. And I've paired them with paraphrases of Bible verses. and kind of matching what's in the picture. And they're all women in their kitchens cooking and serving and getting ready for Thanksgiving and things like that. And I just love these so much. I love how the tradition that we have of Thanksgiving, and you can see it in our history from, the early 1900s all the way through today. We kind of all are still doing the same thing, getting our turkeys ready and preparing things. So I'm telling you about that top tag, which I'm very sorry that you can't see it very well, but it's one of my favorites because the scripture is about being strong in the Lord, and she just looks so strong. So you'll have to look at it on the preview, and I'm very sorry about that. I love this lady's little 40s kind of knot tied scarf there too, is what I'm showing you there. And then this lady, she's got this big basket of eggs and how the sunlight is coming through the curtains. I just love that so much. So these are our flashcards. I combined a small set of flashcards with washi tape this year. So there's 8 flashcards. They come in colors and manila, as usual, and there's some manila paper in there as well for you to print on the backs. And there are all the words and verses that go with our devotional this year. And then this is the washi tape. I've printed it on regular paper here because I like to sometimes use it to make pockets and different things. But when I use it as washi, I print it on clear sticker paper. And it's amazing. It really looks a lot like washi. And I just like it. It's so fun to be able to print one strip of the washi that you want and not have to buy a whole roll. This is our pattern paper. It's all vintage wallpaper and tile and fabric and rugs and things to do with home. And you can see how thick it is. It's like a big, huge pad. And these are all my papers that I printed with that borderless printing, which I had so much fun doing that. I'm going to go kind of fast through here. I'm just going to flip through real quick and let you see all the different patterns. This paper is the paper that's used in the Traveler's Notebook insert. And then we have all the different wallpapers, and this one looks kind of like a rug, which I think is so fun. We've got some kitchen tile, and I like to do wallpaper where it looks like it's peeling and coming apart. We've got some crochet lace, kind of like a tablecloth, and some more peeling and roses. And this one to me looks like a dining room wallpaper. This is one of my favorites, those flowers there. Another kitchen one. And some blueprints. I believe the papers at the end there are from the journal cards. And this is our bonus for the bundle this year, is this mini book. It's shaped like a house. We usually do a mini mug book, and so I kind of combine the house shape with the mugs. Instead of mugs, I did teacups, and I'll show you those in just a minute. But you're just going to tape these together and accordion fold them to create the book. And then they come with these pretty wallpapers to print on the back, and also some ledger paper. And then they also come with these little teacups that create pockets. So you fold them in half and glue around the edges, the inside edges. And they've got little index cards and some verses also to put on the pages of your book. So these are the papers that actually come with the mini book. You get ledger paper and then all those pretty wallpapers with like the gesso splattered on them, which I'm kind of obsessed with these wallpapers. I just want to use them on everything. I think I printed the pink one like 5 times. So now it's time for ephemera. Everybody's favorite usually is the ephemera, and this is the hugest ephemera kit I have ever made. It has 170 pieces, so many fun things. And this is part of what comes in the kit are the labels. And what I usually do is do the names of the hymns and the verses each week, and to coordinate with our devotional. So that's what are on those labels. And those also come in blank. And then we have these labels as well that have some of the wallpaper and recipe cards as backgrounds. And then I love these. These are kind of like old vintage house numbers. So you could do your address if you wanted to do a page about your home, or you could just use it as counting down your blessings or counting the weeks as we go each week. And here's all of our pieces. And there's so many fun little pieces in here. You're going to be cutting a lot probably. So we've got some word art and of course yummy delicious food and a key. And I love this little house. This was like a brochure for a house. And you can see there that house is $1,600. I think this is from the early 20s, which I think is a pretty good price for a house. And it's got the blueprint on it, but it's meant to be kind of like a book, so you fold it in half, but you could cut it apart. You could make a mini book out of it or a page wrap. So many fun things that you could do with that. I just love that cutout of that. So this one, we've got some dishes, and of course we have to have a Thanksgiving turkey and another house and a Thanksgiving table. And you have to have lots of house plants for a home themed kit. And I created some different sizes of the wreaths that are on the front door prompts in case you wanted to use those somewhere else. And I think that Home Sweet Home vase of flowers was one of my favorites too. And we've got some journal cards with little verses about home and some fun house things, advertisements, and then that word art all matches the devotional as well. It goes along with the devotional. We've got some slide frames with pictures of vintage houses and a fence and all kinds of fun things on this one. Some Bless Our Home stitching. And I think this is my absolute favorite sheet of all of them, with the vintage TV and chair. My husband saw that and he said, I really want to sit in that chair. I said, I know, it just looks so comfy, doesn't it? So I love this. I love this set. The TV I think is awesome. And then of course we have to have pie. If you've been doing My Heart of Thanksgiving for any amount of time, you know that pie is one of our themes every year. We all love pie. We like talking about it. We like making it. So there's always pie in the kits. And then we just have some more ephemera little pieces, bits and pieces to layer on your pages. And that is our ephemera kit. So that is it, guys. That is our kit. That is our theme for this year. I am so excited. I cannot wait to get started. I hope that you enjoyed the kickoff today and seeing all the goodies. If you have any questions, just let me know. Make sure and look at the links down below. Register if you haven't yet, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.